call the meeting to order and do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dan. Here. Nicole.
Here.
Dave. Here. Carolyn.
Here.
Deb.
Here. Visitors, anybody have public comment? Anybody? Come on, George.
Oh, if you want me to, I can.
No, hush.
Okay, yeah, I do. At the annual meeting, Opus mentioned that RNC pavers have no experience on doing roads, only parking lots and driveways. Is that true?
No.
You guys do roads, right?
Yeah.
So where did you get your information from?
I just went through the ones that they had for references. I read through them, and there weren't any roads on there. That's where I got that. I asked him if that, I asked Tom.
Why
So that's
did
it.
you
I'm
call
not
our-
talking anymore about it,
Why
okay?
did you call RNC pavers and ask them?
Because I didn't have anything to do with it. I was
Well, you
just,
sure did at the meeting, you shot off your
George.
mouth.
okay.
All right, we need the approval of the town board meeting minutes from April
I have a
10th.
question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Terry Franz, 116451 Birch Tree Road. The last time it snowed, I want to know what they were doing grading the gravel road.
I have no idea.
Well, I'm telling you, there was so much gravel back in there.
Where are you
It's been, I don't
talking?
know how much on King or McKenna.
McKenna?
And why they would have even used a wing is way beyond me for any of the plowing.
I don't know. I'll ask and find out.
They thought there wasn't gravel on that road before. There's a whole lot less now. Go down in front of Dane's house and look at that. Most of the other stuff I swept out, but I ran out of time the other day. And of course, my lawn had already been done along with everyone else's, and then they had the ball be redone again.
Okay.
And I talked to someone else that lives on a gravel road, and his never got plowed, so.
I have no idea, but I'll find out.
Which usually they don't in the spring that far in.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, now, approval of town board minutes for April 10th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 10th, 2023.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry. Approval of town board meeting minutes of April 26th, 2023. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 25th, 2023.
April 26th, 2023.
On 6.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Reports, Plan Commission, Dorothy.
Okay, we met on April 24th, and we approved, our recommendation approved the Larry Scheuer property from general aid to farmland preservation. This is the second one that he's done, so it's not a repeat of one he did about a month ago. And then we also discussed about contacting townships around the city of Marshfield to see if they have checklists for subdivisions. So far, it's been a pretty good response from what I've gotten. Some of the other commissioners, they have different ideas than we do, and I think it's a good thing that we all use everybody's input. And then we're checking on to see about the wind turbines, and Chapter 17 addresses that already at the county level, which goes to the public service. So I think we can all take a breath.
Anybody have any questions for Dorothy? You look.
Can I just add to that about wind turbines, or no?
Sure.
There was a video on YouTube by the Marathon County If anybody wants to go on YouTube, it was from May 2nd of this year at the 1 hour mark. It's called the Marathon County Environmental Resources Committee. They talked about the wind turbine, so if anybody's interested, it's on YouTube for you to research as well.
And you can just go to Marathon County website, and they got them all.
There too.
Yeah. Okay. Garbage and recycling, the tire recycling, Dave, you were the one that was down there on the board.
Yeah, they had a ton of tires again. From McMillan, that Steve Mikulski headed it up. I was there, Mike Stockheimer, Ken Clark, Rod Bauer, John Copeland, myself. That's where I got the good cold from. From town of Marshfield, Randy Weigel and John Salzman, so we had a good representation.
And anybody that's here, I'd like to thank them for helping out.
Yep.
And I heard Concord's delivered lunch,
Yes.
so they kind of went overboard. I heard they couldn't eat it all. Library, Dan.
Library website, the website is, John just continuing on updating as needed. The library, I don't have anything to report other than we do have a meeting scheduled where we'll talk more about the 3-year rolling average and some possible budget adjustments for costs that the library is interested. I haven't had it presented to me yet, so I can't comment on it, but it's forthcoming.
Are they looking more or less keeping what we had?
Keeping what we had, going to a 3-year rolling average,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so, but then, Jill just mentioned, and then trying to limit the peaks like there were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and I don't know what that was, I just was.
Years ago, what they did was, if we overpaid, you know, compared to what the usage was, they put it into an account, and they wouldn't
Right.
let us touch it, okay? When Jill got on, she let us touch it, and we got to take $40,000 out of there, because
Yep.
that had accumulated over the years. So I think what we need to do is kind of look at that portion of it, where they're not holding it, to where if we got money coming back, we should get it back, or apply it to the next year.
Right, yeah,
So-
yeah, and the I don't wanna speak out of turn, but I've heard that there's a good chance that this year will come in, you know, that we won't have to pay the full amount.
Right. So,
You know, so that's, I don't know that for certain, that's just hearsay right now.
yeah, we're not even into the half of the year, so that's kind of a hard to say type thing.
Right.
Buildings and grounds, Carolyn,
Do you want me to do,
your prices and everything?
huh?
Your prices and everything for lawn mowing? Oh, that's on the agenda.
You want it down there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I did have a arborist come in. We had children running around out here in the playground, and Pat and Tom and I were out here checking out the mortar in the building, and Tom looked up and he said, "Oh my God, you've got to get those branches out." That guy came in and climbed up all the way, and so if you look at that big tree out there, he climbed all the way up and cut down all of that stuff. And then there was also a huge branch out in the playground area, so he got rid of that. So that was a relief to get those
Now
out
they
of
got all the
there.
branches that are hanging in the trees, they got them down now?
They got them down. That's what, yeah, he said they're widow makers. So, so we did that, and now we've just been in the process of trying to clean up and get ready for the season. I do have, for the pavilion, I have 30 rentals for this year.
Wow.
Yes, and so actually two for next year already, so it's looking good.
Any questions for Carolyn? Okay, highway, we really don't have anything. I had let's see, Nicole, you had the guy from Marsh Road. I went down there today with Pat. And what we could possibly ditch, I have no idea, because they've done this before. They've had the DNR out there. There's water in everybody's ditch. There's really not a whole lot you can do over there. And I think the majority of that problem is gonna be the DNR's, not ours. So what else was there? Oh, Perry Peterson, he got a road permit because he's starting his house finally. So, and he's happy camper.
And then Shore Creek was the other one.
Shore Creek, what was that? Oh, Pat did come over and put some stuff in the potholes.
Yeah.
So he did that.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Gotta be 2 weeks ago
Yeah,
today.
about
So,
2 weeks ago, yeah.
yeah, he took care of that. So that's all I've got so far. Fire department, Lori.
Since our last meeting, we've had 2 EMS calls, 1 unauthorized burn, 2 vehicle accidents, and we were also part of a MAVA strike team to send a tender and 2 personnel over to Black River Falls to assist with the Fort McCoy wildland fire. We had everybody ready to go, and then they called us off because they got everything under control and didn't need us. So we didn't, but we were all set to go. New members, Lauren Thomas, she's a new probationary member with us. And Pastor Wayne Olander has completed his 1-year probation. He's a full member with the fire department. Training for May is to be determined yet. We had a work day at the fire station to clean up around outside. Got rid of some of those branches that were laying down and got our gutters all cleaned out. Our in-house pump is operational again. The DNR grant is now open. This is the 50-50 grant, and this is the grant where we get our radios and pagers for half price. So when I'm done with the report, I'll.
We get it for half price, or you consider it half price because we got the 50% from DNR?
I consider it half price because we get the 50,
Okay.
the 50-50. So when I'm done with the report, I'll be looking for approval to go ahead and apply for that again. All fire extinguishers in the town buildings have been checked. Several needed to be replaced. The town garage has 2 that need to be replaced.
Pat called me today on those
Okay.
because they're 30 years old.
One is a 1977 fire extinguisher that was hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I do have prices at the fire station from the guy who did the fire extinguishers.
Mhm.
The
I
fire
told them to
department,
get them replaced.
yeah, fire department had to replace 4 because we had some that were outdated, and next year we'll have about 3 more to replace. EMS, we continue to work on the community EMS project that we've got going, and training again is to be determined. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Check out our Facebook page for that. And we're still in the planning stages for Fall Fest.
Anybody have any questions for Lori?
I just need approval to apply for the DNR grant.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 50-50 DNR grant.
And a second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
All right, clerk's report, notifications of correspondence, John.
Yeah, so, let's see. I received a road concern on April 18th. This must have been in voicemail, so I believe this is verbatim. I wouldn't have, yeah. So this must have been voicemail. It says, "The amount of potholes that are becoming damaging to vehicles is ridiculous. The potholes get worse after each time our road is snowplowed, which leads me to my next complaint. Our road has not gotten plowed a handful of times this winter. As of 4/17/23, Chase Road was not plowed at 18:30. This is unacceptable. The fact that the so-called snowplow driver only has one job, which is to plow the roads, can't even do that. Where are my tax dollars going? Please fix the problem in our road."
Is that the one that wasn't signed? There's no signature on there, correct? Concerned citizen?
Oh, yeah, maybe I did get it via the website. That
Yeah.
makes sense. The next one, I think this one was a telephone call. She's saying that the trees on the northwest corner of Turtle Ridge and E are dangerous. people are turning right onto Highway E headed towards Marshfield, and they are unable to adequately determine if traffic is coming on Highway E. So she's wondering if there's stuff that the town can do about that. I looked at it, it looks like it's private property, so I said I would bring it here, but I don't know if
Yeah.
there's anything that we
Well,
can do.
The county's already supposed to address that.
Is that in the right of way?
I don't know, but there's, it's maybe, is it a vision triangle? If that's the
Probably.
case, well, that may be right there then that is our responsibility. Otherwise, the county was gonna check it out.
Is that on Larry Weigel's property?
No, it would be, it's on,
They manage it. I think the county addressed it one other time, as I recall.
yeah,
That sounds familiar, that the county,
yeah.
I feel like the county did something
Yes,
once.
they did.
It's the county right away adjacent to ours.
Okay.
So should I have her call the county then? I told her I'd follow up with,
Well, we
give her
can
a
check it
readout
out
of what
if we
happened
need
at
If you give me the address, I'll get a hold of, Jim Respond, yeah.
sure, okay.
Yeah, send me the address and I'll have him take a look at it or find out what we need to do.
Let's see. We received 2 zoning permits, one on Red Hawk and one on Dragonfly. One is for a screen porch and one is for a single-family home. And that is the end of the notifications and correspondence.
Okay, checks to approve. Does anybody have any questions for John on the checks?
What was the big one, the first state bank?
That was the loan payment to,
That was,
the
yeah,
last payment.
to retire the breather loan.
Okay. So I thought.
So that's paid off then?
Yes.
Okay.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve checks 19445 through 19478, and the electronic transfers 202-30401 through 202-30409.
I'll second
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any questions for John on the budget to actual?
I do.
I got a question on a couple of them checks.
Oh, okay.
19464, $991 for a lawyer bill.
Yeah.
Wasn't that for the ordinance?
I don't
I
know.
guess.
There were several, she told me. Several things, I think.
Yeah, mostly the fire department ordinance, and then one interaction with me regarding the Man Street project of rejecting all bids because the original bid request was insufficient.
Okay.
And 19467 and 468.
19468 is 2 sets of turnout gear, one pair of pants, one jacket, boots, and a helmet, I think, is in there. And then 19467, one was for having them come up and fix something on the engine, and there's one in there that we had to get a part for our rescue. Something with a headlight bracket, and they're the only ones who had it.
Lori, is any of that covered under 2% dues?
The turnout gear,
Yeah,
majority of it, yes.
okay.
Thank you.
George?
Brand's tree service, is that for the tree that they took down over here? The $1,000?
Yes.
Yeah,
Festival Foods, 157.43, what's that one for?
That was for part of the Brett Fry, and we had a fire department feed on a meeting.
I didn't understand the word you said, I'm sorry.
It was for the Brett Fry that we had.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else? Okay, next, John. From budget to actual.
yeah, so the budget to actual, hopefully by the next time, I will have the taxes distributed in the correct spots, you know, including the, garbage and curbside, so the, 46420, that should be much higher than the 23610, because everyone paid, everyone that has garbage cans paid their garbage can dues. Other than that, I think it's, all up to date, so,
I have some questions about fire department accounts.
okay.
The chief's salary, there should be $750 taken out of that already for the first quarter. And you have a zero there. For office supplies, should be $128.73 taken out of there, and you have a zero there. For, here's all right, our training and education, you have $164.04, and according to my records, it should be $393.99. And then for septic, you have $145, and it should be $295. And then for EMS training, you have $528.11, and according to my records, it should only be $356.75.
John, your numbers are they through today? Or no?
Yeah, and
Okay.
they should be.
What was your question about EMS?
EMS training, he's got $582.11, and my records indicate $356.75 should come out of there.
So for EMS training, I got Mid-State Technical College, and emergency medical, so one of the checks that's in here.
Emergency medical products, EMP, that should come out of the equipment and not the training.
Yeah, so the invoice that you coded was 52310-06.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's my mistake then. That one should come out of the equipment and supplies above.
So for septic, I have Banky Septic in February. The Zabler one here says 52211-10. That's where you coded it to.
Yeah, that should be down in the subject one.
So 52230.
You okay back there?
Training and education, I have 3 bills for festival foods.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't questioning the fire department training. It was the EMS training one.
Okay.
If the fire department training, well, I guess I did, but I can look at our records and see what is all in there.
Do you have some bills that should have been in the 52211-05? Because I don't have anything in there to review.
I'll have to take a look when I get back to the station,
Okay.
and I'll let you know.
And as far as the fire chief's salary, I would imagine that, let's see.
Because you have the assistant chief, you have the officers, you have the firefighter's salary. It's just the fire chief is missing $750 out of the $3,000 for the year.
You got paid, right?
Correct, I did.
Okay,
I just wanted to reflect in our budget.
right.
Right. It didn't go onto the board salary, did it, by accident?
$750, you said?
Correct.
That went to EMS officer, it says.
No,
Be under fire chief.
that should be under fire chief. How do you get it? I don't have a section for EMS officer.
I did not set up the payroll, codes, so I'm just using what was set up previously.
Well, evidently you two are gonna have to get together and get your
Yeah.
numbers squared away,
Yeah.
so.
I'll take a look at some of those because I may put something else.
Donna, treasurer's report?
You have your balances in front of you, and your statements. The interest rates, we recently talked to the bank, they'll go as high as 0%, I think, but they're still at 3 at some of those. If you notice.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. The interest rates on the money markets,
Yes.
they're still at 3%, so I guess that's the going, whatever the going rate is, those will change, so pay attention to those from month to month.
Which ones are the money market, is that,
The tax savings and the ARPA are both, but all of them are money markets. The tax savings and the ARPA are both getting the 3%. Everything else is getting whatever, pennies.
There's no interest on the checking, they don't do interest on checking, on that checking
Right.
account. Okay. So the savings account, and then the fire department savings, I questioned that because she's, 50-some thousand. But I did call them and ask them about that, and they told me that it has to be an average of 50,000 plus in order to get that money market rating, so
For how long?
Their rate,
the average has to be for how long?
a year.
The average daily balance per month.
Up for a year, is what they told me.
Oh, okay.
So that's not bad. Maybe next year after Fall Fest, then she'll qualify depending on what she takes out. But right now, she doesn't qualify for that.
Okay,
I did check on that one.
all right.
And then, okay, any questions on that? And I did reflect on the bottom for state grant is paid. I think that's right on the bottom. Yep.
And that should have been 23,634.15.
Yeah, it was 23 something, I don't have that in front of me, but there was interest and the interest, was 491.20.
Okay, so the principal amount that you had on here was wrong. You had 25,251.51.
That could be, I'll go back and look at it.
But we
It
paid
was,
out.
originally it
Yeah,
said
it's
23,
23.
but when we paid
Yeah.
it out, she said it was 25, so I'm not really
Yeah.
sure why. I'll have to check on that. Maybe it was wrong previously, I don't know that
Could be.
answer. But I will check on it. But that's this, I just got the payoff notices today in the mail that it is complete, and I'll look on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Funds transfer done.
Transfers, we'll have, I received today in the mail also the last year's culvert aids for the intergovernmental revenue stuff for 76,000. That was from last year. So we received that today. It's 76,000 and change. So we'll have plenty of money, not to have to transfer any money for next month's bills. We should be fine. And then we had another 500 another 500 that will get transferred to parks, because that's how much money we put in this past month. We do it monthly now, not yearly.
Okay, John, I need you to look up, last year, in 2022, you had told me in September, I believe it was, that there was, you had made a transfer of $800, okay, to the park. You had told me that there was a previous deposit or transfer of $1,500. When was that?
July, I think.
I
And
believe it
what
was-
account did it come out of?
The 1,500 I thought was from the, but
Tanya had made that transfer.
I thought it occurred much earlier. I thought it was in January or February.
No, no,
thought there
there
was
was
an-
1,800 that was transferred, but that would have been for the previous year. Tanya had made a transfer in June or July for 1,500.
Yeah, I thought it was July, but I could be wrong. I have that.
I'm just looking for a date. You know offhand how many rentals you had for 2022?
Oh,
There were
23?
23.
yes, I believe that is
Uh-huh.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are you finding it anywhere? Okay, there was.
That was from, yeah.
It was in 2022, there was no transfer made of $1,500 to park fund. That needs to be done.
John does transfers, and I don't know.
Okay,
You did one in, I don't know.
he did one for $800, that was, I think, in September.
That'd be 18. If she transferred 1,500.
That would have brought it up to 23,
$800 was transferred in July.
or in July, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
But I-
prior to that, there should have been a $1,500 one. And I know you had said there was, but I don't remember what the date was, it never got done, so.
In 22? For
Right.
For 22. But I don't know.
So you should have $1,500 more in the park fund.
Good.
That transfer was, I'll look at it.
It's not in there.
Requested that. We did request it though, yes.
I know we requested it, but it was never made, because I looked through all the bank statements and it's not there. The $800 one is, the $1,800 is at the beginning of the year, and that's for 2021. So,
Oh, that was still for 2021.
right, and that was like in January,
Yeah.
so, you know, when they do their transfers,
Yeah.
so. But you need 1,500 transferred into yours yet. Good. And we're not done. Anything else, Donna?
No, no transfers, we won't need it.
Okay.
So we need a motion to,
No, we don't.
No.
She's not doing any transfers.
oh, she's not doing any.
No. Okay, new business, we're gonna do board appointments. Under highway, I'm gonna do highway. Library, Dan, you're gonna take care of, library and website.
Okay.
Newsletter, you and John, you and I are gonna do that. Carolyn, you're gonna take care of buildings and grounds. Dave, you're gonna get garbage and recycling and wind farms with me. Policies and procedures, Carolyn and Nicole. I want you to take care of those, and Nicole, I want you to work on the ordinances.
Okay.
Any questions? Everybody's breaking really fast.
Yeah.
And then,
Most of the newsletter is for you.
Me and John.
And Dan.
Dan is taking care of website and library.
Are the computers still over in the office?
John, they're using, the clerk and the treasurer are actually using two of them.
Okay,
One is missing, we don't know where the heck that is at all.
okay.
And then John has one at home, and then Rod's was brought in, correct?
That's correct.
So
So
you
we can
will,
use one of them? I
well,
can use them?
yeah, you can use one, and I had already requested.
For the
one, so-
ordinances? What are you looking for?
For policies and procedures, she
Just
wants
to-
to do on there.
Yeah, just to update things.
Oh.
And I'm not doing this in a silo, I will bring this back and say we need approval on everything.
Well, you have to,
Yeah.
so. Any questions? Okay. Plan commission appointments, we have two that are due, and I'd like to appoint Mr. Bruce Wyman. What's that?
You have 3 on here.
I know. We have two that are due at this time, and I'd like to appoint Bruce Wyman and Dorothy Olson. I need a motion to approve.
I-
Um,
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve Dorothy Olson and Bruce Wyman to the Plan Commission.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Carla Madigal has resigned. She had some things she needed to take care of, so I am her term runs out next year. So I am appointing Russ Kolmensberger to finish out her term. So I need a motion to approve,
I'll make that motion.
and I need a second.
I second.
You got two of them. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. I would like to move the Man Street project up to open bids now. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to move the Man Street project to open and award bids up to number
11 and a half.
11, well, 10A or B.
No, it actually be 11.
Okay,
It's under that.
yeah.
All right.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. All right, before I open these, I have asked for the grant for man, nobody has it. The grant. Nobody has the grant. Tom was over to my house Thursday night. He doesn't have the grant. John doesn't have the grant.
No, I think I have the grant. I got it from,
Tom,
Tom
no, I got it
doesn't
from
have
the Department of Transportation.
Okay, so
There's
you
nothing,
just
there's
got-
nothing to the, I mean, it's just a one.
No,
piece
you
of
got
paper.
the approval of the grant.
Yeah,
That's what you got.
Yeah.
You did
I-
not, you
whatever
don't
I
have
sent you
the,
guys,
you
whatever.
don't have the narrative and all
No,
that.
No, they didn't send me
So
that.
nobody knows what's in the grant.
The grant that we didn't take.
Well, it's still out there, so nobody ever made a motion not to take it. Okay, so we don't know what's in the grant.
Yeah, I've never seen a grant, never.
No. So, how do you want to handle this? How in the world did you want to go and put this out for bids and not know what was in the grant?
Tom said that the grant was for a full rebuild and it only took care of 1 mile.
Right,
That's my understanding.
yep. And I asked Tom if he was over Thursday, I talked to him, and he said he never seen the grant.
Then why
That's
did
what
he say
he
that?
told, I have no idea.
So the thing that I sent you from DOT, it's for LRIP, the Local Roads Improvement Plan. The
Mhm.
improvement type is reconstruction.
Right,
And it says it's for Man Street from Lincoln Avenue to St. Joseph's Avenue.
right, it's a little less than a mile. Yeah,
It's got the specs of 4.5-inch thickness, 11 feet per lane, a 3-foot shoulder, no curb, no gutter. I had a follow-up email into DOT.
did you get anything back from him?
No, I asked him where, because in this piece of paper that I received from them, it's got an estimated cost, but I don't know who came up with that. I don't know if that was in the narrative or.
That would have been in the narrative for the grant.
And then it says total eligible costs 1.189 million. Municipal costs would be 597,000. The LRIP state funds would be 591,000.
Right. Okay, so it's for 1 mile, the grant, for supposedly, and nobody has seen this for sure, total reconstruction. So, what do you want to do?
Well, he's got, that's your documentation right there that he got from, where did you
That's
get
it.
that from?
That says you got
DOT.
the grant. That's all really that says.
But you don't, what
We
you
don't have
want
the
is what
narrative.
anybody wrote.
I want to know what's in that grant and what that road is supposed to consist of and how much breaker run and how much gravel and,
I don't know that, with that in the grant, I don't know that
Yeah, it would
that
be.
comes, I'm not sure that that's true.
yeah, it does. I know it does.
Well, Tom spent the last year, researching this and doing this, and we talked about it. I guess I'm of the opinion that our plan, as we have,
Mhm.
is adequate.
Okay.
That's my
But yet,
opinion.
nobody knows what the grant says. Just that we got a grant.
Well, so the grant, what is what he just wrote?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I guess,
because I asked Tom, I said, do you have a copy of the grant? He said, no.
well, who filled it out?
Patty? And Tom.
Well, I know that, I said to Tom, I asked him if he had a copy, and he said no, because Patty would not let me see it. That's what he told me.
Okay,
So
well,
I
that's,
don't know what the heck, I don't know
we
what.
don't have the
We
grant.
don't have it.
I do have a request into the Jim Grease box to get a copy of that, because the narrative would be in there. So,
Well, but if you have what John just wrote or read to you,
Here, I think I
that's
found
what
it.
you have. And that's what you're gonna go by.
I think so.
no, it isn't. I don't have to go by anything except what I want for paperwork, and that would be, I want to see the damn grant.
Well, that's what they're telling you that you got.
No, that was just the acceptance letter. That's all that was. Okay, this is what we were looking for to begin with. No, this is the condition of the approximate 1.9 miles. Are you sure this is for the grant or is this for the MLS grant?
No, it's in the TRID. I think we applied for TRID, but they issued us a LRIP grant.
Where does it say it's only for 1 mile here? Or doesn't it? This just kind of gives background.
For 1 mile.
I don't think this is it, this is kind of background of the township, more or less.
So the whole project.
It just shows up, includes excavation, approximately 5 culverts. And- Hey Rod, you're sitting back there, do we need to replace 5 culverts on Mad?
I did not do the inspections of the culverts.
Okay, so no, there again.
I thought Tom had said that they replaced them.
We replaced 2 of them last
Two
year.
of them?
Yeah.
I wonder if this is MAS.
No, because
It can't be, it's gotta be for, yeah, right here.
yeah, so I found it by searching the LRIP.
Okay.
Previously, I was,
Can you email that to me? I wanna see it anyway.
yeah.
Okay. So,
John, I asked you to call and ask about us, the possibility of us changing the scope of the grant?
That's the email that has not been responded to by the DOT. I emailed 2 guys.
Because I said,
And
get the
they're
scope,
not
see if we
gotten back
can
to me.
have that, and
well,
I'm of the opinion that nothing's changed. I
you
mean,
have
when
the
we,
opinion, you don't know what the grant says either.
well, I know that the grant was for $600,000.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, and that our estimated cost would be $600,000 to do 1 mile of the road for a total rebuild.
Yeah.
And we discussed that 2 miles being not a full rebuild, but a partial,
Mhm.
you know, what's in the bid documents, the township would be, the town would be better served with that, and I guess I still feel the same way.
Okay. I would like to see all the information first, to make sure that we are bidding this properly. And if you got a question into,
I asked John to
state.
call them and ask, because I said, is there the possibility, I called Jim Griesbach and I said, if we have this grant, and now we don't want to do what the grant says we have to do, which is a complete rebuild. That's what the 1 mile is. I said, how do we address this? And he said, get a hold of the people that have the grant, ask if we can get change the scope.
okay,
And then he said,
we need to wait for that then.
well, if you get, but I don't,
How long ago did
you
you
just
send it out, John?
emailed him or did you call him?
I emailed him on April 28th, and I followed up with him on May 3rd.
And what, oh, so he.
He hasn't responded.
And you didn't get any out of office or anything like that?
No.
No.
When I initially emailed him on the guy that I'm dealing with has been not responsive at all. And then I emailed a second guy. The original guy that I was working with left, and then he gave me 2 Johns, I think. And so I emailed,
That's gotta be confusing.
yeah,
2 Johns and from John, huh?
yeah, you would think that they would have put some respect on our names and emailed me back, but I guess not. So, like, so I emailed the second guy asking him, and then after I emailed that guy, then the first John emailed me back. So, and he seemed to be like the lower level guy that I should be interacting with versus the other guy that was not. So I'll follow up with both of these guys tomorrow, and,
Can you call them versus email?
sure.
Or you can send me the phone number, I can call him too.
Okay.
So what do you wanna do?
So if we rescope this grant, are we looking for 2 miles partial? Is that what we're looking for?
No, they won't do that, because I know at one point Tom had called and asked if we could change the scope. And they said, because he wanted to go from 1 mile to 2 miles. And they said, no, you have to stick with the 1 mile. And so, and you can't change the scope by doing what you wanna do.
But
So,
they could possibly with the construction of,
yeah, so Jim said if they would go along with changing the scope,
that 1 mile.
and you could do a 1 mile, and of course, the price would be much different with the new scope, which was be what has been approved, for the 2 miles. He said, Jim's suggestion was, see if they would go along with that new scope for the 1 mile with the scope is whatever it is that we want done. And so if we would go along with that, then of course the price is gonna be different.
Correct.
And you're not gonna be committed to 600,000, well, it will be less than that.
Right.
And then, if they will go along with that, do that, and then extend it, see if however you wanna handle it, extend it out, the same work for the other mile, which we can use for the money we have. That was his explanation. Does that make sense?
Can we use the same company for if we do?
No, that will be totally different. It could
Oh,
be. No, well, what you would have to do is work with the one that gets the bid.
Well, they'd be bidding
And,
something
but it
totally
would
different.
not be,
Right.
it would be whatever.
Seems like chaos.
Either we open them or we don't.
There you go, table it,
Yeah.
at
we
least
table
until we
it.
get the information.
And-
I mean, we're
Yes.
walking into this
And-
blind and you got 3 new members that have no information.
Well, I obviously didn't have any information either.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
So let's motion to table.
I make a motion to table the Main Street project open award bids.
Gonna put these away? Need a second?
Apologize to the people.
All in favor?
We have questions.
Yeah, I think somebody needs to apologize to these people.
Well,
They're very
I
big
will apologize,
policies.
and I am very sorry, but without having all of the information, and this is the most information I got was sitting here tonight. So I apologize, and hopefully you'll come back and bid and all that good stuff.
So can we just
He
take
has
our
a
bids with
question
us?
back there.
You could,
Yeah.
yes, if you want. Because we don't
I
know.
think we
what
put
the-
our numbers out there enough that we would rather have these bids back.
Yeah, not opening them, so,
Just
okay,
keep them.
yeah.
So you explained it correct, Carolyn. So if there's a grant out there that's under an LRIP that says that it was for 1 mile, and that was for a total reconstruct, that would have to be bid out as LRIP, this distance, this project, with the extension of another mile, non-LRIP, to put the projects together,
Yeah,
if that's how
yes.
you wanted to do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
got
they
it.
would have to be split up in the advertisement.
Right.
You could do 2 miles, but the LRIP has to be contained by itself.
The one.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do apologize, but this is the most information I've gotten is sitting here tonight, so.
So you're getting close to not getting it done this year, though, I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay.
Well, I had a recommendation from our highway guy that if we are going to be doing blacktopping any roads, that they should actually sit for a year with new gravel or break a run or that type of thing before putting blacktop on them, or we're gonna end up with a road like we just got within 6-8 years. So
Well, we'll have to,
that was what Pat had told me.
Yeah.
And I know years ago, they used to prep 1 year and blacktop the next.
When they dig that deep, I totally agree with you.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Like I said, I apologize. Can I help you?
Yeah, I just had a question, with the move here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the original bid, it looked like, you were shooting for an August completion date. Do you anticipate adjusting that?
Yeah, it ain't happening right now. There's no adjustment. It's not gonna happen by August.
Right.
Well, it depends on how.
No, we're never gonna get that done by August.
Do you have an anticipated date of when you think it will be done?
No, but the grant is good till 2027. So there. We don't know. No. Do the best we can with what we got, so we'll go from there.
If
All
we
right.
get the information in advance of our next meeting, should we hold a special meeting for this?
Yes.
We could.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
just
We'll
made
try
it
to
long.
move it as long as quickly.
Yeah.
If we can
Yeah.
get them,
Get the
get a hold of
information.
them and get it.
Okay, we have a motion on the table,
So
correct?
then, can you fill some of the potholes that are on there now, at least at a temporary fix?
Well, you can try, but they're not gonna stay in there anyway. I mean, you're gonna put the stuff in, it's gonna get pounded right back out, because it's all full of water right now.
I knocked on a lot of doors and road issues, not only on Man Road, but all over the township are the issue.
Well, all over the state of Wisconsin, if you've driven around.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't
It was
have
bad.
control over the state of Wisconsin, we have it right here at home, so.
Yeah.
All I'm telling you is, when I knocked on doors, people wanted, Man Road was a priority, but there are other priorities in the township. Somehow, this township is gonna have to address them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Pretty soon, the crack fillers are gonna tell us they can't crack fill anymore.
Oh,
We're
that was
not
another
there.
thing.
Yeah,
They
we
said
didn't
so,
get any.
huh?
Oh, yeah.
I sat down with Pat today, and the crack filling, there was, oh, we need to vote on.
Yeah, get that finished.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, as long as our roads. I talked to Pat today about crack filling. We had one bid brought in, and there was some conflict on that, bringing that in. So I had asked him, I wanted to know which roads were being bid. Tom didn't have a list, Pat didn't have a list, nobody had a list. So we have no idea, until today, I got a list from Pat, okay? That we made up as we drove around today. So, we will rebid that next month.
Rebid crack filling?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's unfinished business, but we gotta get it done, but nobody knew what roads we were doing. I don't understand that one. I have no clue, because I asked Tom, I said, you got a list of roads for the crack filling? He said, well, no. I said, Pat, he said, no, he said, I think they went with the same one as they did last year, but he wasn't sure. And then they had missed 2 roads last year, so, I don't know.
How do you bid and how do you accept the bid if you don't know what they're proposing?
Your guess is as good as mine, yeah.
I think that they're probably bidding
Per
per
bid,
gallon
like
or
pounds.
whatever,
Oh,
something like that.
got it.
So, I
But you
mean,
still have a list of roads that you're going to be doing this on.
Yeah, he's got a list.
I found a list, and
What year is that?
it was from 2019, I think, and Tom and I were working a little bit on it. He brought up the 2 roads that needed to get,
The 2 that they missed, that wasn't on their list the year before, or last year.
yeah, I don't remember if I identified, but it was, so what I was working off of was the comparison from 2019, and so I culled it and whatever, so like it's just the roads from here to there, whatever. But I noticed there was a number of roads not on there, like Meadow, Ruby, Red Hawk, Penny, Candlewood, Edgewood, Deer Run, Montgomery, Dragonfly, Hammond.
Those are a lot of those chip seals?
Those are all chip seal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They're chip sealed.
Oh,
They, yeah, you don't do chip seal,
yeah, I don't know anything about
it's
roads.
just black. Okay, so, let's move on. Buildings and grounds, Carolyn.
Yes, I gotta find my stuff now. I got it all mixed up here. I got it here someplace, I just have to find it. I asked for quotes for mowing. I asked for, I went to, I don't know how long it's been since we have asked for confirmation on the pumping the holding tanks and who we are doing that. Hold on. Too many papers. That's all in there. Anyway, I have them here someplace. There they are.
I don't know what that one is.
Well, that one, this is just a copy of an article to give to Heidi Pesky. Okay, I did get two quotes for mowing. One from Clark Landscaping, and it's for the fire department and mowing, and his quote $225 for fire department mowing, and then spraying of the park where needed is $250, and $225, so that's $450. Oh, goodness sakes, I didn't add all that. $450 for the mowing from Clark.
That's for the park and fire department?
And fire department. Beaver Creek to the town, around the town hall and pavilion is $230 per mowing, and around the fire department is $130, for a total of $360. So those are the two. I had a third one and he pulled out, so.
So Beaver Creek will not do any spraying?
What?
Beaver Creek isn't spraying at all?
No, because I have other plans here. We talked about, so then the other thing is that, well, let's, before we go any farther with this, I want to go over the holding tank pricing. B&D has offered to his 2,500 gallon for the, this is for the fire department, is 140, 4,000 is 160. And then Zobler Transport, he does the rest of them, and we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks in the pavilion, the town hall, the garage, and the old garage. And he has 150 for the, for all, for the 2,500, $180 for the 4,000 gallon. So.
How much was it for the 250, 2,500 gallon?
150 from Southland.
Yeah. So, anyway, B&D would like to go along with the fire department, and they will then provide a porta potty for the Fall Fest. And Pat said that he works well with Zobler because he moves from tank to tank here to work with them, Zobler. So I would like to continue on with Zobler for everything else, and B&D for the fire department.
We don't have a contract with any of them anyway, do we?
We don't, but it's just that, you know, I wanted to, I thought it was time to go over them again. So now, the other thing I would like to do is to hire a part-time person for the park. We've been talking about this for over a year. It's too much for the mowing, the trimming, the spraying, all of that, and to get it done in one day. And so I said a year ago, I think I'm going to look into hiring a part-time person to do those jobs. And that is what I would like to have done. I have met a young man. I took him all around the park. Actually, he's already done some things because I needed to get it done with the children out here already playing. And so he's done, picked up some of, cleaned up the playground and what have you. I'd like to have him as a part-time young man for $20 an hour.
How many hours a week?
Well, that's to be determined, you know. I mean, the list that I went through, he went through
An average of how many hours a week are you looking at? Because
eight, I don't know, maybe 8, 10 hours a week?
Month or a week?
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Yeah, more for a month.
Well, it'd be, yeah. Well, I'm not sure whether maybe,
Well, it depends where you have some windfalls or.
yeah, whatever, you know, he will be on and on call for, you know, to come and do
Well,
whatever
just so
he
you can
needs
keep
to
it
do.
with everything within your budget. That's the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
because it's not just $20 an hour, it's workers' comp, it's,
Yeah, right,
you know, FICA, it's, you know.
yeah, right.
So, 10 hours a month roughly? That's what you're saying?
Mm.
You had him do some things, it was just a little over 6 hours or 6 hours, 45 minutes or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, he's a mover and a shaker, so.
But, you know, like,
Can we make it 10 to 15 hours a month? I think that sounds good. And it may not be that much, you know.
Well, just so you can keep it within your budget.
You're right.
Because you don't wanna go over
You're
it
right,
because, all right. So you need a motion to, who do you want for, lawn mowing? You need a motion for lawn mowing, Carol?
Beaver Creek is $360 per mow.
So that's your motion?
I'll make a motion to hire, it's 360 and 450, so they will go with the 360 for Beaver Creek for the mowing for the fire department and the rest of the park and.
Okay, so before they start, we need a signed contract and a certificate of insurance.
Yeah.
I have a question about, have we had Beaver Creek before? I know we had the one company
That
that
was
we had to
All-Star.
fire. That was terrible, so.
That was a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this
That
is
wasn't
a
Beaver Creek.
big time.
No, that was All-Star, I believe.
I don't know, that was not.
I think that's what it was.
This guy has been in business for quite some time and, I know he does all the city mowing,
Mhm.
so,
No,
I
you do
don't
all of
know.
it, there's a few of them that do it.
yeah, so,
That's your motion?
my motion.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Other than before he starts, he's gotta have certificate insurance and the contract signed.
Right,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, then on the part-time employee, who is he?
His name is Tennyson, Tennesen.
Do we
I
have,
may not have that.
do we have to post this?
No,
Okay.
she's got somebody in mind for 10 hours a month, 10 to 15 hours a
This one to
month.
make sure.
Yeah, and you can do,
And we don't post jobs here anymore, we just pull them in as we need them.
Okay.
when you can get them.
I wanted to
You
ask.
know, whenever you can get them, that's what you want, and somebody that's gonna do it. So, yeah.
Good somebody steps
Yeah, exactly.
So we need a motion to approve the hiring of Trenton Tennyson
Tennyson, yes.
for park,
Maintenance,
there you go.
maintenance.
I'll make a motion to approve, what's his
Trent.
name? Trenton Tennyson, for the, to assist in, building and grounds maintenance.
Yeah.
And I
Part-time.
second, I second
I
that.
just have a question. Is that all, do you guys have maintenance kinds of stuff, or do you do your own?
We do most of our own because Ernie Murphy is in charge of our buildings and grounds. And if he needs help with anything, he lets us know in the fire department and we assist him with it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Include anything?
I didn't,
Zero.
no.
Okay.
No, I did not.
So he'll be taking care of dragging the ball diamond and the volleyball court
Right.
and,
Yeah, and the
Playground
trimming and what,
okay.
yeah, all of it, yeah.
Okay.
and that's an on-call?
And
So
on
he's
call.
gonna be probably there once every 2 weeks for any.
Oh, the other thing that he has said that he would do is these horrible receptacles, garbage receptacles up by the pavilion outside.
Mhm.
First of all,
Those
every
square
time,
ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, they're big heavy barrels inside. I tried to pull one up. I'm not strong enough to empty it out because every time it rains, the garbage, everything is, and then people come and throw everything in on top of it.
Mhm.
And I think those need to be emptied once a week. With all these rentals.
These rentals, these people are supposed to be taking care of their own damn
Well, they
garbage.
not the outside ones.
Yeah, they are. They got people
Oh,
outside,
I
yeah.
know.
Well, make them do it. If they're gonna be out in the park,
But the thing is they're not the only ones that use them. Because you've got all these kids with the park and their parents and their picnics and what have you. So we've got everybody using them.
another thing we have to address is bathrooms. We need a bathroom up there for these kids when they're outside playing. So,
I talked to B&D about a porta potty because also we now have 3 teams that have requested times for the ball diamond. And they need bathrooms.
well, they
So
gotta
a
have.
porta potty out there for everybody.
Put it on the back road.
Yeah.
So that it's easy for
Yeah,
them to.
and it's
empty it.
$120 a month, and it's a lot cheaper than trying to empty your holding tanks all the time.
There's a motion on the floor.
Did anyone second that one?
Nicole did.
Nicole did.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And when are you gonna have the bathroom put in there, Carolyn? So that these.
Well,
kids
as
can-
soon as I tell him, and I'm not sure
We're in May
how
already.
soft it is back in there to.
Oh, that's gravel, they'll be able to pull that in there.
No.
On that back road,
No, I don't think so.
that's too soft?
It's too soft.
Well,
At this
you and
point.
Rod sitting there shaking your heads, maybe you two can carry it in there.
You could probably carry it in there.
Yeah.
How are they gonna clean it? Carry it when it's empty.
Once it's dry for the year, you can dry back after a rain.
Just not right now.
Just not right now.
So when do they wanna start using base salt? When do they wanna start using the diamonds here?
Do stuff around
When do they wanna start using the diamond? The
Oh,
fall
as
diamond?
soon as, well,
As
as
soon as they
soon as it dries out, yeah. So he's already drug it once within and sprayed, so, yeah. So it's, we're on the way. So,
Okay,
that's
so
it.
we're done with your stuff and you're gonna
Yeah,
have a
yes,
bathroom out
yes,
there as soon
exactly.
as it's feasible to get it there.
I didn't have any motion listed for the holding tanks.
We don't need one.
No,
Just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah.
Were you gonna talk about spraying at all, Carolyn?
pardon me?
Were you gonna talk about spraying at all?
He's gonna spray it, but he's not gonna be using a, what did
Whatever
you
it
call
was,
it?
yeah.
I think with the municipality, he's gonna have to be very damn careful when he's doing this, simply because you cannot spray when there's kids around.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
So that's
And,
gonna
yeah,
have to be
and there's a
monitored.
special, yeah,
okay,
you can't go in there with rounder,
okay.
So,
yeah.
all right, down
Okay.
to town cell phone, John. Talk fast.
No,
No, we got the
Larry.
resolution, I'm sorry. Or not, yeah, not the resolution.
And the rezone.
The rezone for Scheuer. Sorry.
Need a motion?
Yeah,
I make a motion to approve Larry Schroyer rezone.
second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we're down to the cell phone.
Sure, so when I got the keys, Tanya also gave me a cell phone, but I don't want it. And it's not being used. I needed it for to get text messages for two-factor authentications and stuff. And with the Authenticator app for the .gov. So I've transitioned away from all that stuff. It's a Cellcom phone, so it doesn't get any service in my house anyways, so, if somebody wants it, that's fine, otherwise, I'd like to just turn the service off and be done with it. I think it's
Okay.
$70-ish for that line.
But I
per
think
month.
that was the main one for all of our cell phones, am I correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So
Well,
we actually wouldn't be saving $70-some because they're still gonna have to have a main phone. Okay, the next thing is, we cannot require at this point for the employees to use their own personal cell phones for the clerk and treasurer positions. If they want to volunteer that, that's fine. But we can't make that a requirement. And if there's a disaster of some kind and John's out of town, then what?
Use their own cell phones, I suppose.
Well, we had a disaster here.
We had a cell phone.
And
So, I would like to volunteer to use my personal cell phone as my town cell phone. The town line rings to my cell phone currently, so,
I guess I got a question too. We have team now instead of a phone line, am I correct?
yes,
Okay, is the team in the town's account?
yes, it's tied to the clerk at townmcmillan.gov
Okay.
email address.
So we have, it is our account, so if the power and stuff is out on that, then what? No power, no internet, then what?
It doesn't matter as long as I get cell data, then it'll come in,
It comes in on your personal phone,
yeah.
okay?
As long as I'm connected to the internet, I can get access to that telephone. That telephone line, the 1338, is currently more reliable now than what it was previously. Anytime Frontier went down, which Donna can tell you is every week it seems like.
Dorothy can tell you
Yeah.
for weeks.
So, you know, it's more consistent right now. It's on the level of probably cell phone consistency or better because I can connect to the Wi-Fi and still get access to the phone. As far as the Cellcom clerk cell phone line, I think that we can probably just eliminate that line and then either Pat's becomes the main line or the fire chief or the, they have two lines. One I think is the iPad and one is a phone.
So I guess it's up to the board, do we want to keep that cell phone? Or do we want to eliminate it because John has volunteered? It's up to you.
We had this, we had part of the same conversation back when I came in October. And I don't get enough phone calls, you know, to maybe one or two after tax season, there are very few. I also said I would rather, I don't want to carry two phones, but I would use my cell phone. So we already did that part in, you know, like October or somewhere back in that.
So what happens if John gets hit by a bus the next day?
We're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, how easy is it for us to reactivate a phone?
You would just contact any IT guy that can, I can send you the IT guy that I've been using to set up the stuff. He can get into the admin account and assign it to any.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but I mean, like, you're volunteering to use your own personal phone, but the next person that comes in may be like, I'm not using my personal phone. That's where
exactly
I'm going with
what I'm
that.
thinking. Also, you're out of town, weekends, vacationing, whatever the case may be. How much do you want to be obligated to the town?
I can forward the number.
No, you can hand them a phone if you had a cell phone.
Right.
But I can just forward the number to any.
Yeah, I know.
And
So
Why not, it's not gonna hurt anything to keep it plugged in and charging in the office, is it?
No.
No, I'm talking about the $70 per month cost.
Yeah, but I don't
No,
think
no,
it's
I
gonna be
know,
70.
I know, but.
I think once you eliminate that phone, you're gonna have one of the other ones as the main phone. So you're probably talking $20 on the overall picture. So for $240 a year, I think we should keep a phone.
So I have a question. If you're gonna keep the phone, why don't you put all of your emergency contact numbers in there? And let him keep him doing the way he's doing it, and if something does happen to him, you still have all your emergency contact information in that cell phone. And
I'm sure
anybody,
most of it's in there already, am I correct, John? In the cell phone?
I've not used it.
Well, you haven't used it, but have you checked to see if there's emergency contacts in there?
No.
You need to put that in there.
Emergency contacts like who?
like state of Wisconsin, for, if we have a disaster, we need to get a hold of emergency management government, we need to get a hold of the DNR, we need to get a hold of FEMA for some reason. And if that's all in your phone already, and something, heaven forbid, happens to you, you have it in that cell phone, and we still have access to that cell phone to grab it and call these people, instead of using our own personal phones to call these people.
Well, we'd be looking them up, numbers up all over the place.
Well, yeah, we'd be all Googling and whatever, and that way you would have the cell phone already set up with all those emergency contacts.
Can you
in
give him
it.
those numbers?
Oh, sure.
They might be in that phone already.
I can do that.
So we're good, we're gonna keep the phone?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we don't need a motion there.
And John, I really hope you don't get hit by a bus, you were just giving my example.
You're the
Resolution
John
done,
here.
it's already been out. It's already been approved, but we need board signatures on there.
But there's not.
It says I got Taco on top, he's gonna fill that out. That resolution. We already approved it,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, we really should have gone through the
It's,
questions.
it's pretty basic.
I have a question because we had one filled out.
Mhm.
That's in that.
Where did
It's
you
in the
have
back.
one filled out?
Huh?
I didn't see one filled out.
I got a blank one, but I got one that's all filled
No,
out.
I think that was your application.
No.
You sure?
Okay,
There are signatures on there?
We got 4 signatures plus the clerk. I mean, there's no place for me to sign.
Sign underneath them.
Yeah.
I have one more thing. I had 2 people contact me about wind turbines. Should I just send them to you both, you
No,
and
send them to Dave.
Dave? Okay.
It's in the Towns Association newsletter.
Here you go.
Okay. Should I make a motion to adjourn, or we ready?
Dave, here's your first packet on wind turbines. That's chapter 128. And we need a motion to adjourn.
She already did.
Okay. And we
I
need to
second
second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Highway Committee, I will be getting a hold of you guys when we get all the paperwork for the grant and, okay? So we can sit down and talk about it then. You know where to go. You guys raring to go? Yeah, we had one set up a couple years ago. Letting them up or
That's above my pay grade. That's what I'm going with.
I need to write.
When you dig it out, you put it.
Are those for me?
Somebody take it pretty nice.
Well, that's the question, is when you run the water.
If you want to see it, let me know.
Well, yeah, usually,
I just don't want to update.
but usually the whole area around there is
And
wet.
I'm told there's a policy that.
That's where fishing has to get they did my road, they just stuck that thing up the center, and they hit a big rock or something, you know, and then they run the things out.
Oh, did you?
I don't even know,
Maybe save them, I don't know.
you know, where, should be going out marking the best, but I was